What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to your daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, what week is it? 16.
Week 16, yes.
Week 16. The start of week 16. I'm your host, JJT, with Komish Eric. Week 16 was a nice start. This is a nice start to the week. Lots of great performances. I guess the best game today was the Philadelphia and Memphis game.
Memphis.
Yeah, lots of great performances in that game. But let's talk about some news. First, injury news. Domantas Sabonis, COVID protocols. I'm not sure if you're gonna be. This is very frustrating about Sabonis. He just came back from injury.
The 1-2 combo, as I call it. I'll write it in my quickie. He got the 1-2 combo, a la Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah. Played one or two games, I think, and then getting into COVID protocol. We're still not sure if this is just a false positive or what, but yeah. Expect him to miss 10 days or probably 3 to 4 games maybe.
As I wrote here, as I'm making my quickie, he might come back in a different uniform in case, because 10 days is the deadline.
Yeah.
So there's a chance he might not even be back anymore with Indiana. So
yeah, and we saw a glimpse of what Indiana would be without Sabonis, without Brogdon, without their star players. With Isaiah Jackson leading the way of probably the best buy player for today.
Yeah. Are we going to talk about Isaiah Jackson?
Yeah, let's talk about him. Since
it's okay. 26 points, I think, 10 rebounds, and a couple of blocks. Yeah. As I mentioned, Sabonis might not be back as a pacer. There's a chance. Miles Turner got a good MRI scan report, but it's misleading. It doesn't mean that he's coming back already. It's gonna take still a long path into coming back. There's still steps. So Miles Turner definitely won't be back before the All-Star break. Before the trade deadline. So without Goga's foot is sore. No brainer. You add Isaiah Jackson and just run with him until the trade deadline.
Yeah, and this is, we talked about Isaiah Jackson before. In deep leagues, you add him and stash him until the trade deadline, see what happens. Just so happened that he got a better opportunity earlier than expected, right? Are you there?
Because I dropped him. Yeah, I'm here. Did you hear me? Can you hear me?
I lost you for a bit.
But we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay. I dropped Isaiah Jackson in the invitationals last week at the end of last week because I was thinking Sabonis was still there. So it's bad timing. I've dropped Okongwu, I've dropped Isaiah Jackson, I've dropped a lot of these good players, and don't make the same mistake as I did. That's all I can say. Just keep him for the time being.
To be fair though, stashing these players requires some luxury.
Yes, I don't have that.
Yeah. Right. You only stash them when you can afford to stash them because like Okongwu today, salvaged his line, but he didn't have a good game early on. He had a 9.9 rebound game today. But early on, it was just 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been really bad if he was not able to salvage it late in the game. So it's a luxury stash, Jackson. But yeah, since we're probably 9 or 10 days before the trade deadline, might as well hold on to him. Plus, this is a good opportunity as well for him with Sabonis out.
Yes, and it's easier now with Sabonis out. With Sabonis, if Sabonis was there, I wasn't gonna stash him really because I don't think he was gonna get enough minutes. But now there's no choice, and I think Goga was gonna come back eventually. So that's why that was my thought process. But now that Sabonis is out, yeah, it's easier. Won't be hard.
Yeah. Isaiah Jackson definitely an ad. LeBron James could be out 6 games based on the MRI on the knee. Actually, this is not really the worst case scenario. This is already probably the worst case scenario for him, right? Given that he took an MRI and the MRI was clean, just some soreness, swelling, nothing broken. So 6 games.
But I can't say that this is it's not good. Something to worry about because swelling, I'm sure that the MRI won't be as clear when there's swelling. They have to let the swelling subside and then take another MRI to see what's really wrong there. So that is still worrisome. But my point here with LeBron is if he's gonna miss the next 6 games, it's gonna lead until week 17, which is the All-Star, close to the All-Star.
Yeah.
Today's week 16. The Lakers have 3 games. Next week they have also 3 games. So that means week 16, week 17, LeBron is out. So week 18, that's the All-Star. That's the All-Star already.
I guess the next news we'll wait is whether he plays in the All-Star game or not, right? I mean, if he plays there, at least you're going to be feeling better about him coming back after the All-Star.
And you know what is funny about this? If you look at the schedule, there's a 2-week All-Star is 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
The Lakers only have 2 games there. In 2 weeks, they only have 2 games. So again, just looking at it, why would they play him on those days?
They need to win.
If he can rest the whole month, right? He's just gonna miss 2 more games. It's the whole month already because the Lakers only have 8 games in February.
Yeah.
So
they need to win, but yeah, you're right. 2 games. If they're not really too far off, they'll probably, if they win,
it doesn't matter because he's already out 6 games. If that is true, if he's really out 6 games, what's 2 games more, and then you finish the whole month already and let him come back March strong, right?
Yeah. So that's for LeBron owners. I'm sure you're gonna be worried about that, especially if you're battling for playoff position at this during this time. Bradley Beal also injured with a sprained wrist. 2 games at least. So that's another. At least the 2 games isn't as worrying as the 6 of LeBron. But
actually, this one is 2 games for now, and then we'll evaluate after. So
there's a chance. There's a chance that he gets. He comes back to a different team. Not really a different team, but some players might not be there in Washington when he comes back.
It's different from Sabonis. Sabonis, when he comes back, maybe he's on a different uniform. For Beal, when he comes back, his teammates might be different. For one, the rumors, we can discuss some rumors right now. Spencer, we're giving rumors that we think are valid. The Spencer Dinwiddie rumor, I think, is very valid. There's a problem in the locker room with Spencer Dinwiddie. The Wizards players are not in good terms with him. So they want to trade him. And he's easy to trade with his contract, I think. So he might have a different partner when he comes back. So something to monitor also. Of course, the centers, we know one or 2 of them will be traded.
So Bradley Beal owners, not a good year for Bradley Beal owners, for sure. He hasn't been performing to the level to a first round, not even close to a first round value.
It will open up. Spencer Dinwiddie, Jeremy has him. He was about to drop him, so good thing he timed it better than I did. I mean, the timing is better. You of course keep Dinwiddie with this news of Bradley Beal. Of course, KCP, Kyle Kuzma, they're gonna get some added usage, added minutes. So they're also good with the Beal out.
Yeah. Rest. Today was a day of rest. We'll just enumerate some players who rested or has minor injuries, I guess. Darius Garland was out. Joel Embiid was out. Jimmy Butler out again. I'm not sure if he's gonna play tomorrow because they have a back-to-back if it's this just a 1 game rest, or it's something that's more serious than that. PJ Tucker was also out, Otto Porter out, the Aaron Fox still injured, Trae Young probably resting, and Zubac out. That's why lots of players from the waiver benefited today. Caleb Martin, Andre Drummond. We'll talk about Drummond in a bit, right? Those players, Tyrese Maxey benefited a lot from Embiid being out. Shedai Osman, some of the bye players we have. Olynyk and Jeremy Grant returning tomorrow. Do you roster immediately players who return from injury or COVID protocol? Because I think tomorrow there'll be I'm not sure if there's a lot more games tomorrow. I couldn't remember, but I think in some of my teams it's a more full slate in terms of my rosters.
I'll Olynyk, maybe I don't see that you have to roster. Depends if you're, as you said, you're full roster or not. But Jeremy Grant, I would roster. I think he's been practicing for a while. I think he's gonna be good to go. Jeremy Grant, I think good to go. Jeremy, I will roster right away. Kelly, maybe not. Maybe 50-50, depends on your situation.
Yeah. So there's, like I said, we have lots of bye players that benefited from players resting. Isaiah Jackson was one. We talked about him already. Davion Mitchell has been playing really well without the Aaron Fox.
Without the Aaron Fox, without Terrence Davis, he's now a center. Now a starter for the Kings. I don't know. I really don't know what's the deal with the Aaron Fox.
Another player who's not having a good fantasy year.
Yeah, I really don't know what. It's a sore ankle, but it's already 5 games. It's like a sprained ankle already. So I don't know if they're just holding him back for a trade or what. But
interesting.
I mean, I don't know. So
I wouldn't be surprised if they are. They are
Yes.
shopping him around already,
Yes.
and then just preserving him just to make sure when he gets traded, he's healthy.
Yeah, that's possible. And Davion, if that's the case, if they get to trade Fox, of course, it depends on who they get back. But until Fox comes back, Davion is a good ad.
Yeah.
And by the way, Kyle Lowry, of course, people are asking what's wrong with him, personal reasons. The first report was about childbirth, but there's a new report that it's about his mom. Apparently, there's some health issues there or health problems. So I think if that's the case, we can't say anything really because it's a family matter and it's his mom. It is one probably close to her. So I don't know how long this will take, but it could drag on.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Gabe Vincent, I would just put it there. If you have Gabe Vincent, I think or if Gabe Vincent is being streamed in your league, I think if you're the one who has him now, you keep him until further notice.
Yeah. That's the news on Kyle Lowry, as many are waiting for him to come back and frustrated at that point. I mean, at this point, they just don't know what the deal is because of the very vague news or no news at all. But at least we get a little more update on what's happening, just to put it in context on why he's not there, and level the frustration of other managers.
I mean, they have lives. They're human. We just accept it. That's how it is.
Yeah. Who else? Amir Coffey had a good game after a dud the last game. It was Kennard now who had a dud.
Bad game today.
Yeah. But Coffey should not be there for, it's been a while. He shouldn't be there for a long time already.
I'll put Coffey at the same level as Ayo Donsunmu. They have bad games. Don't go dropping them after a bad game. Overall, Coffey the past 5 games been solid. Look at the stats. He's been double digits 4 of the 5.
Yeah, I think January he was top 50.
Yeah.
In January alone. That's why I was a bit high on him, picking him up in a lot of leagues as well, even after he was dropped after some bad games. Kevon Looney is another unexpected fantasy producer. No one really thought Kevon Looney would be a significant fantasy player, right? I mean, he's not known for it.
Yeah. And here's the
ever
deal.
since everyone's high on Looney before when he had the starting center job. Now at least it's more fruitful. He's producing numbers wise.
Well, here's the deal. Draymond is out, as we know, and these players like Gabe Vincent, like Draymond, like Looney, they're when somebody is out for vague reasons or for the meantime, people get the replacement like Looney. But then, okay, after 2 games, 3 games, he has a bad game. People drop them right away.
Yeah.
Right? Because, who's this guy, Looney? Drop him. And
the
then
history as well.
Yeah, but when you look at it overall, he's been very good. So sometimes, my point is not all streamers are made the same. You have to look carefully like which streamer really has potential to have a longer shelf life. The value will be longer. And Looney is one. If you look at the stats, very, very good. The rebounds at least. The rebounds.
Yeah. Also, they have a longer leash. Players like these, when they produce and then they have the opportunity to do so every game, the leash is a little longer than those players who are temporary replacements, right? Looney is actually not a temporary replacement. He's been starting since the start of the season. So it's just so happened that he has better role now because Draymond's out. But he has had some role even before.
But Looney stats 6.4 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists, 0.8 steals, 0.6 blocks since Draymond went out. Those are not great numbers. So that's why you can probably see him in waiver wires. But those are okay for me, right?
But, depending on how deep your team is, who could produce better?
I mean, these stats are like not Mitch Robinson, Zubac. They're basically like Zubac stats, right?
Yeah.
I mean, except the blocks is a little lower. The rebounds are the same. His assists are, high for a center. Actually, 2.2 is high for a center. Yeah. That because of the system of Golden State. So I like Looney. I like Looney a lot.
So Kevon Looney, a buy player. These replacements I'm going to talk about could have a shorter leash. Chedai Osman started today to replace Darius Garland. So, the leash of Osman could be shorter just because it all depends on Garland. When Garland comes back, he'll probably be back on the, very inconsistent list of players.
I don't know if I should be happy or not with streaming off Osman. He had 12 assists, but 3 out of 16 from the field today. So, but I mean, I'll take it. It's a streamer, I'll take it. And Jeremy's correct. It depends on Garland. But even if Garland comes back, sometimes there are games where he shoots well. You can get some points here and there. But in general, he's a streamer.
Caleb Martin is another player whose value depends heavily on Jimmy Butler. Caleb can have some good games here and there. That's also another thing. He doesn't hurt you as much as Osman does. But still, the production wouldn't be there with Jimmy Butler out. So, but you can stream him tomorrow in case that Butler still remains out, a player to target. Now, the question Jackson Hayes started today. Now, this is another tougher one because Jackson Hayes has played okay as a bench player, as a role player off the bench. Today he started, he played, obviously, he's got more minutes and he played a lot better. I think he had 3 blocks, close to a double-double, right? So now, where does Jackson Hayes stand?
I'm sure not a lot of people streamed Jackson Hayes today.
Yeah.
But after seeing him start, they added him. And this is good because tomorrow they have a back-to-back. They're against Detroit. Today they were against Cleveland. I think it was matchup based. Hear me out because Cleveland have some, mega sized roster.
Yeah.
Lineup. So I guess they started Hayes with.
They did. I think they said it's because of or at least I read the notes that they're starting.
The difference is it kind of worked because he played well. So let's see tomorrow. I mean, if he still starts even against a smaller team, then maybe there's something there. But it's good if you streamed him. For me, what I'll do is I'll stream him for tomorrow and see what happens.
Yeah, it's just hard to hold players like Jackson Hayes because even if they produce, they don't have a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
I guess this Hayes is close to a player like Whiteside, for example. Like they don't get lots of minutes, but when they can produce as well. But the problem with Hayes is that he's got more competition in that center lineup with Hernan Gomez, who also had a good game despite Valanciunas playing. So that's hard. That's why it's harder to hold on or to pick up Hayes for a longer or medium term hold. All right, yeah. Other buy players: Josh Christopher, Trey Mann, and in case Kevin Huerter was dropped, Huerter shouldn't be. Well, in a shallower league, I can see him being dropped in a 12-team standard league because of the bad past 2 games. But Josh Christopher, Trey Mann, I guess in deeper leagues.
Yes, Josh Christopher really is not that consistent yet, but if you give him, maybe in the second half of the season, monitor him, watch out, stream him. He has been able to hit double figures the past 3 games, so he's getting consistent minutes. Trey Mann is starting. I'll be more confident in just, if he lost SGA, just maybe just pick up Mann and see where it goes. For now, he's the better man over Terrence Mann. I mean, who would have thought to say that, right? For now, he's the better ad.
Terrence Mann, I think he is a drop. He should be dropped at this point. He's not, playing well.
You know what's funny? Before, when you add, make sure it's the right team, man. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, it's Terrence. But right now, it's like, okay, make sure it's the right man. It's not Terrence. It's Trey Mann. Trey Mann has more minutes right now and more opportunity.
Yeah. So yeah, those are our buy recommendations. Some worry players. Melton's back in our worry list.
Oh man.
I told you I don't trust him as much. I picked him up in the waiver when everyone's in COVID. I haven't really dropped him yet. The only reason I'll probably drop him for now is that if there's anyone worthy of a pickup somehow, or maybe just stream him, see if there's enough stream players that's there. In a deeper league though, I might still hold on to him.
Yeah, I will hold on to him in 14 team leagues. 16, of course. Standard.
No, drop him.
I'll drop him in standard. Just so frustrating, but that's how I'll deal with it. We don't know what will happen. We don't know if a trade will happen, but it's worth it in the deeper league. It's worth it to hold.
It's going to be hard seeing Memphis trade anyone the way they've been playing, but yeah.
They will make some moves, I think. Minor moves. But it might be Melton who gets traded. That's my guess. It might be Melton who gets traded.
So let's see.
Because John Conchar, Zaire Williams, these guys have stepped up.
Yeah.
So
and they have similar value. Memphis has similar players with Melton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Boucher is the center equivalent of Melton. We haven't had him here in a while.
Because he was playing so well, right? He was even when he was starting or he went to the 6-man role, he was playing so well, and the rotation was just 7 or 8 men, and he was the top player of the bench. And then they had a triple overtime when he get 12 minutes, and then now he's just getting 15, 18 minutes. I don't know why. I mean, does Nick Nurse want to kill his starting 5? I mean, he's playing them 40 minutes a game. Insane. I don't know, but I'll hold on to Boucher. I'll hold on because I really don't know how long these starters can last with what Nurse is doing.
Yeah,
they have to back tomorrow, by the way. So
yeah. So just hold on for a bit. The upside is too good to drop at this point, and we've seen that they can or want to use him from time to time. So I guess it's a good opportunity to just hold and wait to see what happens. He deserves a longer leash, as they say. Clint Capella, another worry player of Commish. Clint Capella has been playing bad. And the minutes, though, the minutes are more worrying, actually.
Yeah, the minutes. 23 today, I think. As far as I saw, 23 or 25 minutes. It's always like that since he came back, 23, 24, 25. And I read somewhere Nate McMillan saying it's actually better for him to just play 23, 24 minutes. In other words, it's better for him that Okongwu was stepped up because now they don't have to force him to play longer. Because if they play longer, his foot will, eventually have problems and he will have to rest again. So I don't know as owners whether that's good, that's better or not. But of course, if he can play, if he can play more games constantly, that will be better for us. But we said he's a buy low. I still think he's a buy low, but I don't think he is gonna be going back to the Capella rankings at the start of the season. I don't know if you agree with me, but I think he probably is just around 70, 60, 70, or maybe even 80, around that range, maybe.
Yeah. The minutes are really the minutes are really the ones that concerns me. For Capella and the emergence of Okongwu, and like you said, when they said that they wanna like preserve him a bit, and limit his time, that's gonna be concerning for a lot of Capella owners. So now Okongwu looks like he should be the handcuff player. Now, if you own Capella, it would be best to have Okongwu as well in your lineup, right? Just in case they decide to rest him a bit.
But here's the deal. It's like you're saying, if I have Mitch Robinson, I should have Nerlens Noel. It's okay, but holding two players that can't score, kind of hard, right? I mean, and it's not as if they get 14, 15 rebounds. They get 7 or 8 each. So that's really gonna be hard. That's really gonna be hard.
True. Yeah. Maybe in deeper leagues, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I have both in an 18-team league, so I guess that works for me a bit better because there's really no one in 18-team leagues where they can give the same production and value. In 14-team, maybe not so, right? But that's gonna be hard as well. If you pick him up and you have a Capella, you don't know who to drop now, or maybe you should trade one at least.
Maybe, yeah.
Right. So there, Clint Capella, a worry player. Sengun is a worry player.
Well, Jeremy was able to trade him. Good for him.
Too late. Trade him too late.
Yeah, traded him too late. I've been saying before that possibly we'll have to wait until March, until playoff time. So it's up to you. It's a luxury stash. It's a luxury stash right now.
Luxury stash for sure. Kemba Walker, last in our worry list.
Drop. I mean,
not worth it. I don't think he's worth the headache. The only time you hold on to Kemba is if he gets a consistent production, like similar to what Kyrie is doing, I guess. I mean, Kyrie, everyone's stashing Kyrie, right? Just because the production is good every time he plays.
Mm-hmm.
So since he's not there, I'd rather drop him. And like we said, the New York rotation has just been bad. Today, Alec Burks played well again.
And since we're in that New York conversation, Cam Reddish is also a worry player, actually a drop player. Actually, probably was already dropped. And it's just funny because they gave up a first round pick and they're not going to use him. They're not going to use him at all, as in totally bench him. So if ever you're stashing him, you better have a kick-ass team to hold someone who's not playing at all.
I told you again, the problem there is Tom Thibodeau.
Yes. Tibbs is a coach who, he's loyal to players he loves. And the guy I actually saw that, is a problem is Quentin Grimes. He's the guy that Thibodeau really loves. And Reddish will not overtake Grimes this year. So the only hope is Fournier. The only hope is Fournier gets moved. But Derrick Rose is gonna come back after the All-Star game. So you add Rose there. I don't even know if Fournier gets traded.
The coach's pet is about to return.
Yeah. Yes. So we're not even sure if Fournier gets traded, Reddish will get minutes. He's not a very strong stash, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's our New York talk.
So New York. Anyway, Kemba, drop him. Feel good. Yeah. Lots of feel good players. Gary Trent. Every time Gary Trent plays well, I get a little nervous because Commission I has this.
Who's leading, by the way?
I don't even know. I know Drew isn't playing as well as he should, but Trent has been making a lots of noise.
Wait. Are we betting on average or totals? Average, right? Because you're gonna lose if it's totals because Drew didn't play for a long time.
Average.
Okay, average. Okay,
average rank.
I think Drew is ahead on averages a little bit by a few rank. So this would be Gary Trent is 35th. Drew is 37th. Okay,
he's still down.
But at least this is
this is closer.
Yeah,
closer than many would think. Closer than what name value presents.
Actually, to be honest, I told Jeremy when I made that bet. It's just like okay for fun, but I had a hunch that I will lose. But what's happening? It looks like it's gonna go down the wire.
Yeah, Trent has been really, really hot, and the steals are always there. So, really good. Closer than and Drew is another player who seems like he's cruising along. Just Milwaukee's just cruising along after that final championship. Maybe they're just cruising along and going to that stage we're in. Yeah, let's just make it to the playoffs and the finals, to the playoffs and get that switch on.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a possibility that Trent outranks Drew overall at the end of the season. Tyrese Maxey benefited on Andre Drummond actually. Was a solid DFS play today. And yeah, both players really Maxey has been playing really well for a week or so now.
Maxey, of course, we remove Embiid there, everybody just gets a huge boost. Embiid is totally a different. It's like replacing Jokic, removing him. So Maxey, this is inflated. But Maxey, as Jeremy said, even if this is inflated, he's been playing better. He was good at the start, not so good in the middle, and then coming back again. So yeah, it's good for Maxey. But Andre Drummond, nah. Good if you streamed him, but I don't see whatever he did today as
sustainable.
Yeah, or even one half of that. I don't think it's even sustainable.
Yeah, and Desmond Bane, another player who, this is he is running away as the pickup of the year.
Yes, for
running
sure.
away with that. I mean, top 40 consistently, even top 30 at times. So I think, and he has consistently done it. I mean, just when you think that he's not going to be as consistent, he plays really, really well every game. And I haven't really seen him struggle as much, right? We haven't really seen him get into a long slump, like a week-long slump, other than him missing games, right?
Well, yeah, there are games, but they're not as common as the games of let's say Gary Trent, let's say even Norman Powell, or of course Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say these scorers, these players who are same kind of player like him. Yes, his bad games are not as as bad.
Yeah.
Maybe let's put it that way, and as common.
Right? Yeah. So that's it for our feel good players of the day. Also, in case you haven't really watched our DFS episodes, we gave out some tips there on teams that you should teams that give how do you say this? Teams that allow opponents to get more steals and blocks. And today yesterday's trivia was that, and that team is OKC. So it means that when opponents are against OKC, their blocks number and their steals number go up. That means OKC gives out, allows their opponents to block and swipe the ball away from them as more than any other team. So something to just remember, maybe as you go through the playoffs, when you stream players, maybe, or when you pick up some players, you can think about, or on Judgment Day, you need certain stats like steals and blocks. You could look into some of those players against OKC. All right, so that's it for Daily Fantasy Quickie. Like we said, Courtside DFS, our DFS show is always up. Usually we upload them together with this quickie. So if you can watch for that, watch our episodes there. It's a different topic, but some of the tips there you might be able to use in your season-long fantasy, especially when you stream players. I think it helps a lot as well in understanding what happens during the DFS games. And plus the tips that we give out and the trivia that Komish gives out might be helpful as well. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow, guys. Bye.